Alright, Shalom. Can you give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai, the one is the elders and apostles of the great Muslim, do and teach well. This is CNN World. New supercontinent could wipe out humans and make Earth uninhabitable, studies suggest. Some more of this, climate change hysteria, fear-mongering lies, which is what it is. It's more like climate lies. I'm not going to bring out scriptures as of yet. I'm just going to read on so you get a little context. The formation of a new supercontinent could wipe out humans and all other mammals still alive in 250 years, researchers have predicted. Using the first ever supercomputer climate models of the distant future, scientists from the University of Bristol in the United Kingdom predicted how climate extremes would intensify after the world's continent merged to form one supercontinent, Pangea Ultima, in around 250 million years. Right, so now the planet, Pangea is real, right? It talks about how the Lord, pretty much made the dry part land, and we had water, and then we had land, caused land to pretty much form in the midst of it, right? But it doesn't exactly tell you. But in the flood, the land, the Pangea split apart into these different nations, which we have now, and in the spirit, it really makes a lot of sense because after Noah and his sons got off, those different nations that will come out of them would spread to these different, pieces of the earth, pretty much in the eastern part, no one was out in America yet. No one was in the Americas yet as pertaining to 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. No one, dwelt here. It was a land where never mankind dwelt. So no one was a permanent dweller here until the Northern Kingdom came down here. Don't bring out that stuff with Solomon and all that. And those Hamites, that they weren't permanent dwellers. So don't try to say that. But I think you guys out there that happen to know all that stuff, if you know that, then you probably know that about 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. Well, I hope you would know and know that Arsharif, never where mankind dwelt, in America, so on and so forth. I would hope you know all that, right? If you can bring that out, then you can bring out the other stuff, right? So, the stuff here, so pretty much just people saying that the earth is going to come back together. Nowhere in the scripture does it say that, 250 million years the earth is going to come back together. It's nowhere does it say that, Now, I don't know if that did happen, it would be the Lord's doing, but nowhere does it say the Lord is going to do that. And to be honest, in my opinion, the earth is just going to stay the exact same way because one, it's never been said that the earth would change anywhere like that, or the lands would come back together again. It doesn't say that. Also, the lands being split apart is just a memorial of, the flood happening. So, chances are, it's probably just going to stay the same way. And I know I'm kind of looking deeper than this than I really need to, but, I can't help it. But what I'm saying is, we don't really know. But the fact of the matter is, it's not going to destroy the earth, even if, the Lord did cause, the continents to come back together again millions of years from now. It's not going to destroy it. And I'll bring out scriptures that prove that the earth will not be destroyed. No matter what. We thought it would be extremely hot, dry, and virtually uninhabitable for humans and mammals who are not evolved to cope with prolonged exposure to excessive heat. Researchers simulate temperature, wind, rain, and humidity trends for the supercontinent and use models of tectonic plate movement, plates beneath the ground and all that. Ocean chemistry and biology to calculate carbon dioxide levels. They found not only will the formation of Pangea Ultima lead to more regular volcanic eruptions, spewing carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, warming the planet, but the sun would also become brighter, emitting more energy and warming the Earth further. Expert notes in the paper published Monday in the journal Nature Geoscience, right? And I don't really care to read the rest. You don't really need to know the ins and outs of fucking geology. It's unnecessary. This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 4. One generation passeth away, another generation cometh, but the earth abides forever. Okay? So, we believe the scriptures to be true. and we have faith that the scriptures are true. We can look at the prophecies. The prophecies back then, they were all true. The prophecies Isaiah made, prophecies Jeremiah made, all the prophecies of old all came true. And we believe all the prophecies that have not happened as of yet, that they will come true as well. And I'll say other prophecies of Isaiah and Jeremiah, the ones that pertain to those times. I mean, the prophecies like I just talked about Isaiah 15 and 16, right, of Moab being destroyed in 3 years. Oh, well, it wasn't destroyed. It was just kind of spoiled, and you got fucking pillaged. They say about like what Tiglath-Pileser the third, and then fucking some other guys pretty much took him down. Sargon did too, and then you can look at Assyrian tablets, and then it kind of lines up all together. Yeah, like literally in 3 years, Moab got his shit rocked, right? Stuff like that went down, man. Man, I mean, stuff in Samuel was a prophet, right? All that stuff, man. And small, I don't want to call them small because no prophecy is small per se, but prophecies that were meant to happen, in a short time frame, they happened back then, and then nowadays, well, shorter, and then other longer ones, like I know Jeremiah. I believe Jeremiah, he prophesied of the 70 years in Babylon, I'm pretty sure, right? But all these things, they came to pass. Daniel 7, right? They came to pass. Well, how much more the prophecies that haven't happened yet? And I'm not saying all of Daniel 7 happened yet. That's what I'm saying. Not every single prophecy in each of these books, not all of them, have happened yet, but there are some that actually happened already. And I'm saying if those ones that happened already happen, how much more will the other ones happen? It's Occam's razor, right? But the earth abideth forever, and forever means forever, right? It's here, it passeth away. So halak, come, behave, to die, live in manner of life, right? So one generation dies. I think a generation's like 25 years. That you're punished, even to the third or fourth generation. So when you come back, you face a judgment. Not in that life, but you come back in your next life, and the Lord also be judging in your life too. But you get judged in your next life. 3-4 generations, round about 75 to 100 years later. There's a scripture out there in 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter, the chamber of souls. Basically, it's like a woman's womb. When the time for a baby is to come forth. I'm just roughly paraphrasing the chapter, right? So is the chamber of souls, and that's what Euro's breaking down to him. Pretty much about prophecy. That prophecy comes one after another, right? And so is a woman's womb, So let me see if I can go get it. Can't fucking. I want to just explain it the right way. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter. I'll read this. 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 37. By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he measured the times. By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he measured the times, and he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. So everything's measured out, right? So World War III isn't going to happen tomorrow, and then Jacob's trouble is going to happen. There's a set order and timeline of events for things to happen, right? There isn't going to be World War III happen right now. We all, America gets nuked, and then the MOTB just come out tomorrow. No, it's not going to happen. The MOTB is going to come out. Jacob's trouble is going to come down. The MOTB, chances are, will be pushed out. Probably in the midst of Jacob's trouble, because order had KO, but certain companies could push out things beforehand. Like I'm hearing about Neuralink is pushing out stuff, and I think I heard of fucking BlackRock, I think it was, who was making some sort of MOTB like a device, something that attaches to your spine or some shit. But you know, these very companies, they're gonna push this shit out, man. You know, we're pretty well aware of that reality, right? The answer to I said, "O Lord, that bearest rule, even we are full of impiety. For our sakes peradventure, it is not that the floors of the righteous are not filled, because the sins of them that dwell on the earth." All right, so pretty much based on how full the threshing floor, you can tell how good of a harvest. They're just saying maybe it's the righteous fault that the threshing has not come yet. The righteous are not righteous enough, right? Right now it was a breakdown from the brother. Who was it? Zara Moff, his name, or Bakar Moff. I pretty much got his breakdown for it, so you can go watch this video and you get the same thing. So answer me said, "Go thy way to a more child, and ask of her when she hath fulfilled her 9 months, if her womb may keep the birth any longer within her." And that's a no. You know, it's not gonna happen. You know, and that's why women, and they plan all that stuff out. They have like their own ovulation times, and you know, women would try to, you know, have a child at a certain, you know, time. You know, which is, you know, that's really supposed to do all that, because you know it goes back to that wickedness and planning birthdays and all that shit. But you know, there's nothing wrong with having children on ovulation times, but if you're doing that for some birthday shit, that's off. But you know, when that 9 month time period is up, you know, the baby comes out, and that's why people try to plan it for birthdays. Oh, I want my son's birthday to be around the same time as my, you know, my mom, and then we can celebrate both their birthdays, or this or that, or oh, I want his birthday kind of, you know, put over here, and then I make this kid, and I want to pop him out on this time, you know. That's how people think, you know. You know, you can actually plan out births. Verse 41, then said I, "No, Lord, that can she not? And said unto me, in the grave the chamber of souls are like the womb of a woman." Alright? So the chamber of souls is literally, you know, the spirit world, you know. It's pretty much what it is. Chambers, you know, like a room. Not saying it looks like a room, but that's what what heaven is. That's what the, you know, spirit world is. It's just basically, man, I want to say like an extra dimensional space. You know, you go there, your spirit goes there, and you know, you stay there for a certain amount of time. There are about 3-4 generations, about 75 to 100 years, and then you come back. You know, so you're probably your great grandfather, your great great grandfather, coming back. You know, probably, yeah, your great grandfather, your great great grandfather coming back. You know, that means in one of my past lives I look like an Edomite. Oh shit. Oh shit. One of my past lives I look like an Edomite. Damn. But it's like that. For like as a woman that travaileth maketh haste to escape the necessity of the travail, even so these things haste to deliver those things that committed unto them. Right, when you die, your spirit goes to spirit world, you're waiting in time. Right, every 3 or 4 generations, every 100 years or so. Skin to the waiting time in the womb. Once the time is complete, you immediately push into the world. Right, and we know that Yahweh Shah was not bound to this, and that makes me think of Melchizedek. I think he said he had no mom or dad. He just materialized and just, you know, materialized out. You know, so they could do that. They could do that. You know. Right, so this is the book of Psalm 104:1. Bless the Lord, O my soul, Lord, my power. Thou art very great, thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who covers thyself with light as a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain. Right, Lord is light, right? He's not darkness, he's not wicked or evil, none of that. But pretty much what this is going into is the Lord is everywhere and he controls everything, you know. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. You know, pretty much about his omniscience. And this doesn't mean, you know, the cloud of you know, like it doesn't mean like cloud like, the scriptures talk about the Lord's clouds and this and that, the clouds should come upon his place. It doesn't mean that, as in chariots. This is talking about actual, clouds, because that's, if you read the context, is pretty much, Yahweh's care of all his works. It's pretty much about him and his omniscience, meaning that he's everywhere. Because the angel spirits and his ministers of flaming fire, right? It's pretty much just going into how the spirits, are pure energy, right? His angels are spirits, and his ministers of flaming fire. See, his ministers serve, servants, menial worshippers, So his angels in the spirit world, all the spirits are flaming fire. Their energy, flaming, blaze, kindle, scorch, right? Burning, fiery, altar fire, flame, supernatural fire. Lay the foundations of the earth, that it should not be removed forever. So that's pretty much what it is. It should not be removed forever. So the earth is not going to be removed. As I said before, nowhere in the scriptures, to my knowledge, I've read, I want to say everything, but I read a pretty good chunk of the scriptures, and it doesn't say anything about the earth coming back together and Pangea reforming. Nowhere does it say it, and I'm very doubtful that that's going to happen, because one, it's not written, and two, then, what was the point of having their split up? You're going to put it back together. But at the end of the day, it's the Lord's, playbook. But I'm just saying that the earth being split is literally just a memorial of the flood taking place, and is a leftover, as a reminder of the flood, which really it should be, warning to us all about, the detriment of sin, and the gravity of sin, because we sinned so much back then. Man sinned so much back then. The Lord said, all right, that's it, repented the Lord that he made man, so Lord, when you're edified, shalom. Come on.